else should hate me. Okay, so welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. We're about 37 minutes past go time, and we apologize for that. But hopefully you can, if you're not viewing us right now, sitting in my bedroom with me or anybody else, you can hopefully view it later. And the other thing I want to say right off the bat is that this is we'll have many, many more of these as we move forward in the new year too, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So welcome. We're glad you guys are here. Make sure to wherever you are on this chat or the other chat, just continue to talk. We want it to be an open conversation. We're going to run through the Business Buds basics, basically. So what commission looks like, some of the just regular verbiage, if you will, young living ease. And then we will walk through some other really fun stuff at the end. So, Abby, if you want to go to the next one. Okay, so welcome to the business side of things. We keeps on popping in and out.
Oh, what?
Is it live on your side, Abby?
All I can see is the screen that I'm sharing.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Here, we'll just do this. Here we go. Okay. If everybody will do me a favor and make sure that you're muted too, that will keep Abby up on screen so everybody can see it. They'll put it in full screen. Okay. Here we go. Benefits of the business side. If you guys already haven't fallen in love with Young Living and the products in your you're probably not my friend. No, I'm just kidding. We all love the products, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're sitting here. Whether they've helped you personally or your family or your loved ones, it just becomes natural in Young Living that I found that you just continue to start sharing them and spreading what they've done for you with other people. And so we like to say on the side of things that we share Young Living. A lot of people will say that they sell Young Living, and I think that's great too. But we share it over here, and it's because it's really done out of just because we want to help people. That's what our community is all about. So benefit side of thing is unlimited earning potential. You can read the rest too. Low startup costs, obviously. You choose the people you work with, like all of our us crazy ones, and appreciate you guys being here with us and sticking it through with us. You choose your hours. You're your own boss. You have more time with your family. You have the tax advantages, which I can tell you, just even from being in Young Living now for 2 years, I guess, that has been one thing that's really been amazing for me and my family, is that the tax benefits of me having a quote-unquote in-home or stay-at-home business has been tremendous for us, and is definitely a bonus. You'll have residual and willable income, which means that you can actually, whatever your lineage is, whatever you make, etc., something would happen to you, you can actually give that lineage to whoever you designate it to, which I think is really cool, because that doesn't happen in a lot of other businesses. And then travel opportunities, and no additional background required, meaning you get to learn at your own terms. You don't have to continue to get a degree in that, It's basically, you get to do this research base for the love of it and share with other people. You still there, Abs? Can we move to the next one?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Young Living verbiage. So we're just going to run through some of this because a lot of you guys already know this, but some of you don't. So we think it's important to share. So the enroller is the person responsible for signing up a new member. May also be the sponsor, but may also place under the leg in their downline. So there's 2 places to put in your number when you sign somebody up, or when you signed up. You probably remember this. You could either be an enroller or a sponsor. The sponsor, you'll see there, is the person directly above the new member who is responsible for the member's oily journey. You have ER. Everybody's heard ER. It stands for Essential Rewards. Essential Rewards is actually our customer loyalty program, is the best way to describe it. It's phenomenal deals. If you guys are just blown away by the deal this month, you thought the past 2 months were great, if you guys are blown away, just holler, because it's awesome. I mean, who doesn't need an everyday oil kit? I definitely would love, can't wait to get mine. The Essential Rewards program gives you free oils, or just even just general promos throughout the month, and it's absolutely amazing. Legs. We refer to legs in Young Living as the people or the business builders you have underneath you, and their legs underneath them. So enroll a sponsor, Essential Reward or ER, legs. You have PV. PV stands for personal volume, and so personal volume means that it includes a sum of the personal volume of the personal orders or any orders placed by your customers underneath you. OGV stands for organizational group volume. It is the final total of your PV and the PV amount of your entire organization. PGV stands for personal group volume. I love that it says you don't need to worry about this for a while. However, personal group volume, once you get to a certain level within Young Living, that takes into account how much is underneath you, not designated in a leg, if you will. So we'll move on from there.
Can I say really quickly too? I'm just noticing some of the comments here that they're not able to see the screen, my screen that I'm sharing because Nicole is talking. If you just click on my little thing on the bottom, you should be able to see that screen. If that's trouble, let me know, but that's how that should work there.
Abs, I think the only concern with that, honey, is that they're getting the live YouTube playback versus being in the actual room. Is that where you're seeing those comments?
I don't know. I'm confused. I'm just getting emails from on the Oily Besties page. Just keep going, Nicole. It's fine.
So to answer the question, you guys have access to anything and everything that we make, and so you'll have access to this too to go over with other people, or if you just need a refresher. So we'll just keep going. So the virtual office overview. One thing that we talked about today, the girls and I talked about, was that a lot of times we just assume that people know things and that know how to work around things or whatever, especially when it comes to the computer. But the problem with that is we all have busy lives. Sometimes it's hard to just sit down and to navigate and to go through. And so this is one part that I think is really important, and I encourage you guys to go through your VO. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, already have, and you know the ins and outs. But some of the things that it does do, it gives you a dashboard overview, and so you can see from month start to month end exactly where you are, where you need to be, where your legs currently are. It even tells you, hey, you need this amount to get to your next pay or next level, et cetera, et cetera. You can also do member news. It will send you the emails that are sent out from either our leaders or ourselves or corporate. You can actually get that within the VO if you set it up where it's directed straight to you under the member news. And the message center is also in there too. You can go through your organization. So within your organization, you can see who all's underneath you, the specifics of them. You can also go all the way over to the right-hand side, and it will tell you and show you the date that they signed up, where are they that month, where they need to be, their address, phone number, all that good stuff. The downline viewer, you can go through and run reports, and that's something we'll talk about a little bit. It is our beginning of the month and end of the month reports that we run, and we encourage everybody to run. The reports can go anywhere from who's becoming inactive this month that you want to touch base with, or who's brand new that you want to send an email to that just says, hey, how are you? I'm so-and-so with Oily Besties and the Young Living Leadership, et cetera, et cetera. You get to touch base with everybody by pulling those reports. You could do a quick order and order yourself some off ER oils. You can also do your ER order with Essential Rewards. They have the member resources, which that's where you'll find a lot of the really good nitty-gritty stuff that they put out that a lot of people don't know about. You have a complete compliance list. what to say, what not to say. There's a lot of really cool videos. You can also find flyers and postcards that they put out from Young Living that you can print, send to people. They actually have a PDF of the catalog, which a lot of people don't know, that you can actually go in there, get the link, and send over the complete Young Living catalog to people who could be interested. So there's a lot of really good stuff underneath there. And then my account, your account down there, it will tell you who your upline is, how you can contact them. It will tell you like your credit cards, what your credit cards are in there, and all your information, as well as that's where you find where your commission is too, which is really important. Excuse me. Someone really wants to come in here. Abby, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll happily do this. Okay, so another thing we're going to cover in a little bit more depth is the Essential Rewards. I'm a huge fan of Essential Rewards, and I'm just going to pop in right now and tell you, I'm not sure if anybody saw it, I'm not sure if I shared it on the business page or not, but the mini promotion for December of 2015, which is right now, is they're giving away Aroma Complete Kits. And what they're giving that away for is it's part of the Drive to Win challenge, and it's for the member who signs up, the most new wholesale members with a premium starter kit and an Essential Rewards order of 190 PV or more. So I think focusing on ER right now and getting you all to understand the importance of ER is a step in the right direction there. So the Essential Rewards program, although most of you are on it, I'm just going to briefly go over it. It's a monthly program. You earn it's completely optional. You can update it every month. Minimum 50 PV purchase. There's no cost to sign up, and you do get one grace month per year. The benefits of it is you earn points towards future purchases. Months 1 through 6, you earn 10% back in ER points. Months 7 to 12, you earn 15% back, and months 13 plus, you earn 20% back. And let me tell you, 20% is huge. That's $60 on a $300 order, or 60 PV. It's pretty awesome. You also get reduced shipping rates, packages of products available to purchase at below wholesale cost, and then the freebies, which are at 190, 250, and 300 PV. And Nicole pointed out that the December freebie is the big one, is the Everyday Oils collection, and that's the original. So that includes Joy, which is awesome. That's a great one, especially if we have newbies here and you don't have Joy. What a good way to get it is with the bonuses for this month. So how do you sign up? Go to the Essential Rewards tab in the virtual office. You can set it up through there, pick your date, and edit it daily like I do, like a crazy person. But it's a great program, and when you are signing up a new member, one of the things that I like to do is that I talk about, okay, well, what do you think you want to try next month? Because if you're going to try the premium starter kit and use all of these oils, what do we want? What's your next step? What are you looking to do next? And we can add those to your Essential Rewards order right now. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we set it up, and they're already ready on the road to get to their next step there. So that's something to think about as we're trying to work in Essential Rewards for December. Okay, so how do I earn commission and bonuses? Everybody wants to know where the money's at, and the best way to do that is to look at this lovely graphic here. With a 50 PV monthly order, this is for the first 3 months of when you sign a member up. Not for your first 3 months, but when you sign a new member up. You have to only purchase 50 PV in order to receive the Fast Start bonus, and that's 25% of any order for the first 3 months. So on a 100 PV purchase, which is the premium starter kit, you make $25 as a Fast Start bonus. The Start Living Kit bonus is a flat $25. So let me just back up there to the Fast Start bonus, because the Fast Start bonus is 25%. If it's a 100 PV purchase, it's $25. But if you're going up and adding on that ER, then that's actually going to be 25% of whatever that purchase is. It doesn't have to be just that 100 PV from the kit. But the Start Living bonus is a flat $25 bonus. And then with a 50 PV order, you also are entitled to the customer earnings. So if you have any retail customers, you only have to spend 50 PV in order to get that commission. If we are doing, once we get past that 3 months and we have a bigger downline and we're growing, you will have to do the 100 PV monthly order. And as Nicole and I were discussing earlier, or I had seen her post about it, is that Gary Young doesn't want to have an organization of leaders who do not use their products, just collecting money. So what this 100 PV instituted is for, so that everyone's using the products on a regular basis. We know what we're talking about. We know what we're sharing, and that's why that's why this stands in here for leaders. The 100 PV monthly order. You get the Fast Start bonus, the Start Living Kit bonus, customer earnings. You earn uni-level commissions, which is something we're going to go over next, but that's the different levels of people and legs underneath you. The Rising Star bonus, and then Generations and Generation Leadership bonus, which is available to leadership silver and above. So I'll walk you through that as well. Creating your foundation. These are the hate to say smaller, but let's just say the starting out levels of leadership in Young Living. The distributor, which is where you start out, you see the $50 and $100, so that's how you see what you're earning as far as the uni-level commissions. Once you pop up to Star, you have to have the 100 PV, 500 OGV, and that's, if you look underneath, that's where you're going to earn your uni-level commissions, is right there. The first level will be 8%, the second level will be 5%, and the third level will be 4%. You move up to Senior Star, you're getting another level of commissions. You move up to Executive, you're getting another level of commissions at 4%. You move up to Star, then you start getting into the generation commission percentages. And if anybody has a good way to explain that, because I'm still wrapping my head around it, please feel free to go ahead. But let's look at the numbers at the top two. Senior Star is 2,000 total. And at this point, you're not worried about legs. Distributor Star, Senior Star, you don't have to have your legs set up. Do you want to have your legs set up? Absolutely. Do you have to? No. But it's how you're going to get from Senior Star to Executive, is to have two legs, two people selling underneath you who are at $1,000 each. And then you're going to start thinking about silver, okay? Or you're thinking about silver from day one, and you look at, okay, well, now I need two legs at 4,000. Or gold, you need three legs at 6,000. You want to have those legs instituted and have a good foundation at the beginning, so you're growing everyone equally, so you just keep hitting it. You don't want to get 2 leaders at 4,000 and then have to start, from scratch to find another leader to get up to 6%, because then you're just kind of working really extra hard. It takes a little bit longer to do it, create your foundation and do it that way, but it works out in the long run. So again, I just walked over these titles here, these leadership titles, the Star, Executive, Senior Star, and Silver. I just kind of walked you through those, so I'm not going to do that again. And I'm giving you a little peek into my foundation. I updated this today. It gets a little confusing when you have a lot of people, but I just wanted to show you how things work out when you have set up your foundation, you have set up your legs, and you're growing them equally. Carrie, Sheila, and April for me were my first 3 legs who really started. And you know what, Lindsay, she started really early too, but didn't really get into the business side until recently, and now she's become an equal builder with the rest. So I personally worked at growing these teams very equally, so once I hit some of the higher levels, it'll hit quickly. But I will tell you, even with this foundation, I'm still an executive. I have hit silver, but I haven't hit it again. So it really takes time to grow your team, to teach them, and this is why we're kind of doing this right now, because we want you all to be able to grow your teams the way that we know how to best teach you. One of the other important things of this slide right here is when you move a member, as an enroller, you can relocate that member for free, 5 days by calling member services or logging into live chat. Why would you want to do this? Well, let me tell you. I have had several people who have just randomly clicked on links from my Oily Besties with Abby Facebook page, went ahead and ordered a kit. Yay, awesome. It's like the best thing in the world to have a random person buy a kit from you. But maybe that person would be better off, they're in the town 3 towns over from you, but you have a business builder who's in the town 3 towns over for you. So you actually want to place that individual under that business builder. Because you're building your leg, you're helping your business builder, and you're establishing that foundation. So that's why you would want to move a member. I have moved many members to help my teams and to help build my foundation. It's really good because it allows your team to see that you're helping them and you're there for them. And you're also thinking strategically about who is going to work best with who. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things I've dealt with, is I've called Nicole and kind of explained to my new members and explained to my current team and said, okay, where do you think I should put this person? You know, and that strategic thinking is really what's going to get you farther ahead. Like I said, you don't want to put two people in the same town who you think might end up being business builders, because then they're just competing against them, each other instead of working together. So something to consider. And again, personality is something to consider as well. You can also email resolutions@youngliving.com within 21 days of that member enrolling. And it's also important to note that you will remain the enroller, so you will earn all of the first 3 months of benefits as you would in any other circumstance, even if you're moving them under a different sponsor. I hope I didn't talk myself into circles and confuse you. This is one of my favorite graphics because it shows you the potential for growth in this business. On average, a star spends, I don't actually believe those on average hours per week, but on average 5 hours per week, we make up, the stars make up 62% of our distributor base, and average monthly income $73, yearly $876. If you just follow that chart and look up senior star, average monthly income $261, executive $617, silver $2,300, gold $6,500. Wow, platinum $15,000. Can you imagine $15,000 a month? What that would do for you and your family and your community? I can't even wrap my brain around that, but I'm willing to try. Believe you me, I'm willing to try. So these are some really exciting numbers. It shows you the potential of where you can go and how quickly you can go. And I will tell you, I have only been selling since January of 2014. It can happen to anyone. I've seen people move up the ranks. You really get into it what you put into it. So we're all doing our best to do that. And right now, those are the numbers from Young Living, but we also have an incentive program through the Oily Besties, which are managed by the executive leaders. When you hit star, you get to choose a Young Living product of your choice up to 20 PV. When you hit senior star, you get a product up to 50 PV. And when you hit executive, you get a product up to 100 PV from your executive leader. And then once you hit executive, you're in charge of managing the incentive program for your team underneath you. We really want to help you guys grow. We really want to see you grow, and we want to give you the incentives to do that. And so that's our goal with our Reach for the Stars program. Nicole, do you want to take over silver in 6?
Sure, I'd like to. Silver, what does it mean? Can you hear that? There you go. So silver in 6, I will say that I had the opportunity to reach silver in 6. I actually was able to do it in 4 months. But it was because of my team and everybody who just worked so hard to do it. But one thing that was really cool about that is that in the silver in 6, that actually means that you get that Aroma Complete kit. That's pictured down there if you guys can see it or not. We can go back through in the slides so you can see it. But that is cutting in and out. Okay. So basically, how do you qualify? Any first-time executives have 6 months from the end of their first commission period to achieve the rank of silver in 6. So for example, if your first executive month is in June, then the member must achieve the rank of silver by December 31st. And I want to just say that and say how amazing it was to have that kit and for it to really, I feel like it was a blessing because now I get to take it to classes and really help people with it and that type of stuff. But here's what I want you to hear, is that there is a bunch of people that make silver in 6, but is it the end-all be-all? Not at all. I think big time is that you need to focus on that one goal of where you want to get to, and just focus on that. Silver in 6 for me is definitely a blessing, but it was also something that if I didn't make it, it wasn't going to be the end of the world, if you will say, because there's so much more outside of just that kit. that you get to focus on. But so I've had so many different conversations with people who say, oh, I can't make silver in 6. Might as well just be done. And so that's why I wanted to throw that in there. It's not about getting that aroma complete kit and then just being done with it. Really, it's about just moving on and allowing us to help you get there. If that is your goal, though, we will help you get there and make it very intentional for you to achieve that thing, because it is pretty cool. The other thing is really cool is that you, starting at silver and then on up through the ranks, you actually, if you're able to keep silver and hold it for 3 months, Young Living will send you on an all expense paid trip to wherever that silver retreat is this year. Steffi and I just actually got back from the silver retreat. It was in the end of October, and it was at the Mona, Utah, at the Mona Lavender Farm. Yes, all the lavender were cut, but we got to harvest Melissa with them, hear Gary talk, have a whole day of training with Monique McLean and Adam Green. It was just a really, really fun thing, and something that definitely I wish every single one of you could be a part of. Go for it, Abby. Was she muted?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, let's get back here. Present to everyone. Can you guys see that now? Does it look like it did before? Not really. Hold on. Okay. So we're good? You guys can see it? Okay. I can't hear you, so that's good. Good thing I'm asking. Social media, I personally choose to have a private page where I share the majority of my oily information. I do from time to time share on my personal page, but I find that I would prefer to share with people, because I share so much, who want to learn about Young Living, who want to learn about the products and see my oily lifestyle. I find that it's a safer place for my current members to share and ask questions. And we do have the Oily Besties Lounge, but I find that my private page allows other people to add their friends or anybody who might be interested in Young Living that wouldn't necessarily be able to add me as a friend just randomly. And we don't add them to the lounge because the lounge is reserved only for wholesale members. So that is why I have a personal Oily Besties page that I promote and share my things on there. One of the things I like to point out always, if you can, remember to tag the Oily Besties main page, business page, when you are posting about Young Living and your journey. We like you to tag us so that we remain a community. Like I mentioned, the Oily Besties Lounge is reserved for wholesale members. So anytime you enroll a new member with a kit, or even the basic kit, any of the kits, add them to the Oily Besties Lounge, because that's where our community gathers to ask questions, answer questions, give advice, and learn about the company. It's really the best, safest resource for us, and we love having everybody in one place. We also have the Oily Besties Business Buds page, which you all are members of, and the Business Buds is a space for our wholesale members and our business team to connect, and we share all our tips and tricks and info and graphics and ideas and pitches and questions, everything in the Buds page. If you have a new wholesale member who is interested in the business side of Young Living, ask them if they're interested in being added to the Business Buds page, because again, that's where we're going to gain more interest for building a downline and helping people share the oily lifestyle. One of the things I wanted to share with you as business leaders is the Oily Tools app. If you don't have it, it's $6.99 a month. It's downloadable to your phone. And the thing that I love, there are several things I love about this. What I love the most is it tells you your estimated earnings for the following month. this is huge because this really enables you to know what's coming, what to expect, and it also, if you look at that slide on the left, it breaks down individual. Is it are you getting customers from your retail customer commission? Is it a starter kit bonus? What percentage of your paycheck is from starter kit bonus? What percentage of your paycheck is from the Rising Star? What percentage is from Fast Start, which Fast Start is that first 3 months, 25%. So anybody that's buying anything for 25% is going to pop up in that. Unilevel commissions, and again, the generation bonus and commissions, that's for silvers and above. You can also, where you see rank executive, you can change that. So you can see if you get to silver, what your paycheck would bump up. It's just going to show you the individual levels that you get, the additional money that you would get by growing. It's very inspirational to see where you can go with it. They also have stats. You can look at Oily Tools participation, and I see that nobody in my downline is using Oily Tools, so I'm just going to keep promoting it because it's such a great resource. Shows you your team size, and in reference to your team size, how many of those are retail customers and how many of them are total members. It tells you how many members have made a purchase that month. So out of my 403 size team, 79 of them have made purchases, which is 19.60% percent of ordering. It also shows you your personal PV, your ERPV, your total OGV. It also shows you your pace, so what they think you are going to make. This number looks really good at the beginning of the month because everybody hits their ER at the beginning of the month, and it looks like you're just on pace for like a stellar month, and it drops, and it does become more realistic, but the beginning of the month can be very inspirational in that aspect. It again shows you new members, team growth, new rankers, which is awesome, an awesome way to keep track of who's up ranking. And one of the other things is they have the alerts, so you can see when things are going in and out of stock. Like the roll-on collection just went in stock again today. That's been in and out like 5 times. So it's a pretty neat program that allows you to check out things, and it's managed and run by Jake Dempsey. I forget his wife's name, but they are high-level leaders in Young Living. And he is so, I want to say acquirable, but that's not the right word. I have private messaged him several times with questions, and he's gotten back to me within a half an hour. So they're really easy to talk to ask questions, to get information on. So that's my love for Oily Tools here. We also have additional Oily Besties resources that we have designed for you and to offer you. Nicole, do you want to run through this since this is your baby right here?
Yes, I would love to. Okay, so Oily Besties resources, a lot of these things that we talked about earlier are things that you can go back, and if it's some of the things don't make sense, you can actually go through these slides at any time. You can give us a call at any time, but there's also all the stuff under member resources that we talked about in the VO. It explains probably better than we ever could about the compensation and stuff. But these are the type of things, as you are a part of the Oily Besties, that we get to provide for you that are specific to us and to our community, which means they're specific to you. And so Oily Besties resources, we spent so many hours last year launching our oilybesties.com, and it is definitely a an ongoing process, just as anybody has ever been involved with website development. It is an ongoing updating process. We are in the middle of updating it currently for the new kits, but as I'm sure you guys have seen, is that the kits keeps changing. The one oil comes out before, and now there's new diffusers, and so it's an ongoing process, if you will. But so we're going to continue to we're going to continue to update that. But one thing that the reason behind oilybesties.com is for you, honestly. We have so many people who say, oh, I don't know where to send people that ask me this, and how do I answer this, and where do I get them to go to through this? Besides the short code that you can make through Young Living, to have your number inserted populated into the screen, oilybesties.com was created so that you guys had a place to send your people to read about all the stuff that we get to do. from the diffusers, how to use them, how to diffuse, how to X, Y, and Z. It's all in there. But on top of that, under your besties, you guys have an opportunity to be featured on oilybesties.com. And so that being said, as you can see on the screen, or maybe you can't, but Abby's picture is up on the oilybesties.com, that where we put a bio of who you are. Underneath is a little bit like where they can go to sign up directly underneath you, a little bit more about her Instagram feed, that type of stuff. So a person can actually go and find you, sign up under you directly from that page, so that you don't ever have to host another page unless you want to. The other thing that it does for you is it's completely compliant, and I know a lot of people have questions about that. Well, compliant this, compliant that, what do I say? Everything that we put out there and put out there on that is completely compliant for you to send your people to. And so that's really the vision behind oilybesties.com. You can also have the ability to have an Oily Besties email. We can do that directly if that's something that you would like to do. A lot of people have their own email addresses that they want to filter through, but if you would like a designated oilybesties.com email, we can do that for you, and that's something that we host for you. You just need to email Steffi at oilybesties.com to get that set up. And the other thing is the graphics plan. We have such an amazing, creatively loving.
Oh, stop it.
And she does all of this on her own time, which means, just like we talked about earlier, we're all in so many different states. And Steffi and I have talked about at length of how we wish we could just show up at Abby's door and babysit her kids for her so that she could get all this stuff done. But really, she takes time out of her family's time. She takes time out of everything else that she has going on to do these graphics for us. And so several months ago, we made the decision that we would like to gift back to her what we've been given with her free time, and give her, pay her for some of her time. Now, honestly, the $5 a month and the $55 a year is nothing in comparison to what she does for us. But the graphics plan is available to you for $5 a month or $55 a year, and for the next month in December. It is out of the kindness of Abby's heart that anybody who is interested in the business side of things and interested to put any of our graphics together, she is gifting that to you through the end of the year. And so that's just something that we have a huge asset in and through her, and be able to gift it back to her is really important for everything that she does.
So if anybody wants to get started with that after January, we will definitely talk about it then. But again, it's the $5 a month and $55 a year, and it comes in really handy to either pay a babysitter to watch the kids so I can work, or to kind of go into my account for when I can get a new computer and pop these out hella faster. So that's my goal for that, just so you all know. It's always about moving bigger and better and improving. So that's where we're going there. Compliance, everyone's favorite topic.
Compliance, compliance, compliance. You will hear my 2 cents, and I'm just going to give it to you. The one thing that I think is really important is that we don't stress too much about this, but that we just remember that it's all in a giving heart that we share with people. That being said, we all need to stay compliant in everything that we do. And one thing as your team and as your leaders we try to do is continue to be compliant for you. And so anything that you see populate from any of our Facebook pages, anything in the lounge, the Business Buds, plus as well as the graphics plan, anything on the website, that is also going to be written in compliance for you. Now, if you ever have any questions, that's why we're there as well, and to ask us those questions, to text message us, whatever that looks like. But long story short is that if you can go into the member resources and just kind of read this page that she has up for you, all of this information is actually already printed and out there for us under the Remember Resources page in the new VO. They're continuing to work on this all the time. I get emails all the time, probably about weekly, now that Dr. Lindsay Elmore has taken over that department. They're working long and hard to get us more and more resources that are compliant. And so they've even come out with, I believe, a PowerPoint presentation recently. There's several flyers that you can put out. Some of their graphics and stuff are all back there, and everything is compliant. And so I would love to just encourage you guys to go there. Come to us, go to the Oily Besties website, go to the Oily Besties Facebook page, all of that type of stuff, because everything that you see there, hopefully, in our due diligence, we've tried to make it as compliant for you guys as possible. Staying away from the keywords that you'll actually read on that sheet that's in the member resources page. Staying away from diagnosing anything, and just remember that you are an individual, and the majority of us don't hold any licensing to be able to prescribe to individuals, and that's just how it is. Now, on the flip side of that, the one thing I will say is, and the one thing I'm encouraging all of us to do, all of our teams, is bring it back to basics. And what I mean by that is anytime that you are having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, that's just a conversation. As long as you're not diagnosing anybody or trying to, you can actually tell them your experience and tell them the things that you've gone through and what you've used X, Y, and Z for. It becomes tricky when you are in a group setting or even on a presentation, if you will, giving a class, etc. If you are being pointed out as the point person in the room and as the expert in the room, that's when you want to be very cautious and careful. The one thing that I encourage everybody with classes is, along with the FDA compliance wording that we put out at the beginning of all of our scripts, you also want to make sure that, as of right now, what I have been told specifically from Young Living and through corporate as well as our leaders, is that to add into that FDA, I cannot diagnose, treat, et cetera, if you actually, in your classes, you can say, is there any member of the FDA or et cetera in this room? They actually are, it's illegal for them not to mention that they are a part of the FDA, and so that's one way to guard against any hearsay, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because that's something that I learned recently, that they have to tell you that they're there, whether it be in a Facebook class or even in person, that they have to tell you. But even still, going forward with that shouldn't scare anybody. It's just basically turning all of the negative connotations into positive things. I use it for this, and I use it to, I use joy to remain joyful. I use stress away to get my stress away. That type of stuff. I think if we just spin it in a positive note, then we're going to be A-okay with it.
Speaking of compliance, one of the things, because we cannot diagnose, treat, or cure, is we want to be able to teach our teams and our members to do the research themselves, because I just can't share with you what I would use for certain things as a testimonial, but I can say to you, why don't you go ahead and find your desk reference and look that up, and it's going to be in there. These are some of our favorite guides that are out there. I also meant to add the chemical-free home books, have a ton of recipes for DIY products for your home, whether it's skincare, cleaning products for the babies. There's amazing, amazing recipes in there. So resource books are very, very, very important. You always want to encourage your team to have their information at their fingertips. It's really important to be able to have people who can do that research there for you or for themselves. Zyto Compass. Many of us have the Zyto Compass. Nicole, Steffi's not talking. Nicole, do you want to cover the Zyto Compass? I'm sorry, I have to run for just a quick second.
Sure, Runaway. Yeah, Zyto Compass. Hey, who all has ever had a scan? Why don't you type over in the comments so I know who I'm talking to. I know Terry has one. Steffi has one. I have one. Abby has one. I'm not sure if anybody else has. If you haven't had a scan, why don't you tell us that? Cool. It's such a very cool technology. It was actually developed by NASA originally to communicate with the astronauts when they're in outer space. So it would scan their body and basically tell them what was out of place. So you have 76 biomarkers that could be out of place, and it will scan all of them, and come back to you um, with a score, and kind of breaks down what you would need specifically to your body. Whether it be, you have 3 different subsets. You can put all products, you can put just the oils, weight management, etc. And it will down to the nitty gritty of what you need. I would say that the Zyto Compass is a amazing tool. We actually use it, my family and I use it as, how do I say this in a compliant way, as kind of like a healthcare for us. We believe in doctors, but we are extremely proactive, and so anytime anybody's coming down with a cold, sniffle, we just feel off, we'll scan right away and then see what our body's telling us, and it's been very cool and just a huge investment for my family. And that being said, you can actually, depending on who your leader is, if you're ever interested in A, getting a scan, or B, getting a scanner, just let us know, because there's referral programs and such too, that we can slide on over to you guys.
We love the Zyto. This is a quick sketch of who our upline leaders are, and I included Nicole and Steffi because they're co-founders of the Oily Besties. Nicole, Steffi, Courtney, Ketty and Trey Eddy, Julie Hanneman, Heather Portwood, Karen and Max Hopkins, and the one and only Deborah Rayburn. So this is the team that we are on. I recently, whenever Young Living came to Manchester, New Hampshire, they did a corporate event here, and I met another diamond leader, and was introduced by another member. She wasn't a diamond of ours, but she asked, who's your Royal Crown diamond? And I said, oh, Deborah Rayburn. She just looked at me like, oh, and she said, you're cooking with gas. Like, lucky you. It's like, that's right, lucky me. We're on Deborah's team. And Deborah is an awesome leader. I've had personal communications with her, as I know many people on our team have, and she's got a huge organization. So we're on a very good team, all the way to the top, every step of the way. We're very fortunate to have leaders who are there to help us and answer questions. So never hesitate to reach out to Nicole, Steffi, or I, or anybody really in the upline. Are happy to help out. Lastly, what does our future look like? Many different things we have going on, and Nicole, I'm going to let you take this one too.
This is so exciting for us and for all of you. I know there's a bunch of people with all the craziness of getting on here tonight that probably dropped off, and I just want to encourage everybody, if that was some of your people, make sure that they either watch the replay or jump back on to our next one. Moving forward, something that's truly been on my heart and something I was sharing with Abby and Steffi today was just being more intentional. Something that we learned at Silver Retreat, or maybe not learned, but definitely heard from a lot of people over and over, it seemed like, was that if you're not intentional with your time, you're never going to hit it. You're never going to hit your mark. You're never going to be successful. And so for me personally, for me to be very honest with you, we've gone through a lot this year. I had a baby who just turned 9 months old 2 days ago. We just recently moved. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, and with all of that, I've tried to support my team as much as I could with just the limited amount of margin that I had. But that being said, I really feel now we're at a place that I can really dig deep and dive into our team even more than I ever have. And so some of the things that are on my plate personally, and will tie into something I'm going to say in a minute too, is that I would love to spend more intentional time with you guys, whether it be doing these type of things, doing a one-on-one class that we are going to start scheduling monthly, to just this Business Buds class for you and for your ongoing team members to get either a refresh or more information about it, as well as every other week we will be doing some sort of class. And so whether that would be a one-on-one class or a chemical-free home class, that type of stuff, we'll be doing that as we move forward throughout the next year. So one of these Business Buds classes a month, a class just in general a month, whatever that looks like, whether it be webinar-based or Facebook-based. And the other thing that we're going to be doing is something that we're going to call the 310s. And so it's going to be a bi-weekly hangout, something kind of like this, but without the chaos that we started with in the beginning, and where we'll be focusing on 10 minutes, 3 10-minute increments of whether it be leadership aspect, business building, just personal development. Each 10-minute segment will be broken up into 3 different things, and we're going to just continue on with that. Each you won't be hearing from just me each time. You could be hearing from other leaders within the organization, so we could just build into each other. We're going to be also focusing on bestie topic webinars. We've talked to some of our teams today, and we're going to do things that are going to be really fun and hopefully helpful for you. So we're going to be doing like DIY webinar with our very own Terry Fields. We'll be doing some social media strategy type of stuff. We'll be doing tax assessment and so on and so forth. Things that we really feel that you guys as an organization underneath us within our community, you each and every one of you guys have your own giftings. And I think that's such an amazing asset. And if we don't make use of those giftings, then it just doesn't matter. But if we do, we could become just a very strong instrumental team. And so what we really want to do is just reach out to all of our teams who have the different giftings and let them shine and teach us along the way. There's only so much that the 3 of us can do as our organizations become bigger and bigger. We're always here for everybody. But as the team gets bigger, it's all about teamwork. So we encourage you guys to talk amongst yourself. We encourage you guys to breathe life into situations and to even come back to us with ideas or things that you might need or feel you might need. As we continue on within the next year, I just encourage you guys to continue to do that, and just always remember that no matter what, as long as you're breathing light into a situation, it's always going to be used for positive. But if there's something that is wearing on you or your heart, I encourage you to lead up. And what that means is if something happens, is going on, you need help with something, but you're struggling, whatever that may be, don't feel like you need to go to each other to fix it in a way, or to complain or figure out what people aren't doing for you, but lead up to your organization so that we can know how to help and support you. And so that's something that we're just going to all of us within the organizations, all of our leaders, we're going to focus really hard on in 2016. I can't believe it's going to be 2016. And so that we can be more intentional, so we can breathe life into each other, so that we can continue to be the community that that we wanted to be and why we created it. So the other thing that we're going to be doing, and we're really working hard towards, is the diffuser baskets. Some of you guys know what that is and know what that means. It's really a cool idea of bringing diffusers with a script and different oils to people in your neighborhood or in general who might be interested in it. The one thing I will tell you that we've found is there was an original diffuser basket script, and we're kind of going through that a little bit. Some of the things, we're making it more us and more oily besties. There's been a slight hold in that just because there's some things that we need to tweak to make sure that they are who we are and they are compliant and that type of stuff. And so we're working with some of our leaders to make sure that that's all good to go, and that will be some other things that we're going to be launching. We also have the updated website as we continue to update it and make it the best for you guys, so you have a place, a solid foundation to send people to whenever they say they're interested. And if that's something that you want to be on, send us an email, and so we can get that part or that you on the website, so you have a place to send them. The free graphics plan for December we talked about, and then the product education as we continue to have more and more products come out. We're using them and loving them, continue to be highly educated on them so we can be a product of our products. So we're really excited about what 2016 holds for us, and we will have more and more of these. We'll have more and more of other things. And one thing I want to say or do before we get off here right now is I would love for you guys to whatever chat that you're in, give us some things that you would love to see next year. What are some things that maybe you want more information about? And then while you guys are typing, if there's anybody that has a question, feel free to either unmute yourself here, we'll be quiet so you can ask the question, or ask it in any one of those fields as well.
I think we talked so much of them that we overwhelmed them.
Possibly.
I'm just kidding. There's a lot of information tonight, and as things come up, please feel free to private message any of us or ask questions in the Oily Besties Business Buds page. We're here all the time to answer any leadership questions, and we're happy to do that and point you in the right direction.
Terry, what the 310s mean? Yeah. 310s will be our bi-weekly hangout with any and all of our people, basically focusing 30 minutes, focusing 30 minutes, but then broken down into 10-minute segments. So each time it could be different. It could be 10 minutes of leadership, 10 minutes of personal development, 10 minutes of DIY projects, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing about that is you'll know before you go into the 310s or before they're scheduled what they're going to be about. And so each one of us can focus on different things. One week it might be you get the three of us each having 10 minutes to share what's on our hearts and what we've done for the next week, that type of stuff. Or it could be one of you doing the same as well. One of the most upcoming 310s that we're going to do when we first launch it is going to be about care calls. Does that freak anybody out? Yes. And just kind of talking through that and what that looks like, and remembering that we, not to be freaked out by it, but that it could really be an asset for us and for our people, and we just build into people one-on-one and build those relationships. So that will be one of our upcoming 310s. Dark balls are for old people. Where can I get the chemical-free home resource book? You can actually get that through several different aspects. I've actually seen it on Amazon. You could get it through LSP. You can get it through Abundant Health as well. You can actually order it directly from Melissa Pepping's website directly too. So there's several different places that you can order it from. You're old, Terry. I'm just kidding, we're the same age. All right, friends, I'm going to leave it open for a couple more minutes. If you have any other comments, questions, if you want to yell at us for being so silly for the first 30 minutes, you could do that too. You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys so much. Sorry I'm not visibly here. This is Steffi talking. My hubby is out of town, and as you can hear, there's a 4-year-old melting down in the other room and a 2-year-old jumping on the bed behind me. So it's been great chatting with you all in the chat window and being behind the scenes, per se.
You guys are great. Thanks so much. I am going to call it a night myself, but the Oily Besties Facebook event page will be open, and you can also ask any questions on the regular Buzz page anytime. So I'm going to say goodnight. It's 10:09 here, and I need to put my feet up for a little bit. So enjoy your evening, everyone. Once I stop the broadcast, we're done. So again, feel free to use our Facebook page. Anyone is always welcome to private message me or text me or anything that you need to do to get a hold of me. I'm happy to help. So I hope everyone has an awesome night. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us and making an effort to learn more and the best ways to share with your team. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.